Heyo everybody, Haku here with my read-through or reaction for Omniscient Reader, or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Chapters at least 42 and 43, if not also 44. So I think I might have mentioned it in the comments and stuff last video, but not in the video itself. Just so you know when these videos are, I'm going to start doing them weekly. I feel like that's the best way to do things, because I don't want people to just be sitting around waiting like, who knows when the next Omniscient Reader will be. So every Tuesday, I'll do Omniscient Reader Tuesdays. And yeah, we'll just have fun every Tuesday reading some Omniscient Reader. I am limited by how crappy my computer is. It struggled with the most recent with the most recent Tower of God video. So that kind of sucked. Since I'm limited by that, look, if I had a better setup, I'd love to just stream a couple hours each day. Stream a couple hours on Tuesday for Omniscient Reader, see how much we get. But since I'm limited to this right now, I'm going to do 2-3 chapters, depending on how long the chapters are, every week on Tuesday. It might be kind of a slow grind to get to catch up, but I'm cool taking my time with it and just enjoying the journey. Also, when it comes to, that'll be reactions. When it comes to reviews, I haven't really made a decision yet. Maybe one week I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to take off from reactions this week to do a review instead. Or maybe I'll just do reactions every week, and then the review will be up as a surprise whenever. Maybe. But I mentioned in my Kubera video, I really do still like doing reviews because I like looking at the series more deeply. It gives me a better grasp on everything. It helps me remember things. And it's more content for all of you. So I like doing reviews personally. I like talking about things in a deeper sense, not just reacting to them, even though I do discuss as I'm reacting. So reviews will still come, just not like on an actual weekly schedule like reactions are. In addition to that, another good reason to do things this way is so that if I'm running behind, I can let you all know. I can tell you, I can just post on all my social media stuff. I always do stuff when I do updates here on the community tab here on YouTube, where I can just say, hey, I'm running a day behind, it'll be up tomorrow, or hey, I'm not gonna have time because something came up in life this week and I'll have to take the week off this week. That way so you all can know when it's actually going to be happening. As for what time in the day it will be happening, I don't know, just whenever it's done, whenever I can, is kind of the way I'm going. But yeah, I'm going to do at least 42 and 43, if not also 44. Again, if I could do longer videos in the future, I would like to. But for now, 2 to 3 chapters is just the baseline minimum that I want to do every week, you know? I guess there's not much else to say. Last time, I don't really do a full recap, but last time we finished off the naval battle stuff. Jihye was great, and we caught back up to Yu Jung-hyuk, who's being controlled by the Cinema Master. When it comes to my favorite characters, Jihye has really grown on me. I really like Jihye. Huiwon's probably still my favorite, but I really like the both of them. I do like Lee Hyun-sung. I do like Gil Young. I like Dokja and Sang-ah. Dokja I like, but I think the best way to describe what I was talking about last video, at the end of the video, where I was like, there's just something about the way that it's written that's not connecting with me. And some of you have said like other reactors like Kick the Can, certain characters or certain things really didn't like become something they really liked until like way further in. But for me, I think the word that came to mind that I was like, that kind of explains it. Sometimes it feels stiff to me, like the way the characters talk to each other, or like what happens on a this panel to this panel basis sometimes feels stiff. And some people said in the comments that, again, I always read and try to answer all the comments to the best of my ability. I definitely always read all of them, but sometimes I read a comment and I'm like, I'm not sure how to answer you. Sorry, I'm just going to give you a heart, but I'm not sure what to say in response. I always try to answer everybody, though, the best I can. But people were saying that a part of that could be because this is an adaptation of a web novel. So because of the way the web novel is written, because it's mostly just narration from Dokja, that could be the reason why I'm like, something just feels weird about the way it's written. That could be why. So yeah, I just wanted to bring some of that stuff up. But yeah, Really enjoying it. I do think Hui Won's probably my favorite. I feel like I could see some more of it out of Dokja. That's what kind of got me off on that tangent. Sang-ah, I love her design. I really don't feel like there's a lot going on yet with her character-wise, though. And Yoo Jung-hyuk is also in the same vein where it's like neat character design and all. They constantly try to hype him up, but I just don't think I've seen enough to really like him that much yet. So yeah, Hui Won's probably my favorite, but after last read through, Jihye is probably up there too. Though I do like Gil Young a lot. Gil Young might be the other one in the top 3. So yeah, either way, let's go ahead. Let's read chapter 42 to start. And then Jihye, watch out. And this is what we saw at the end of last chapter, with Yoo Jung-hyuk coming in with a punch. Master. And then we have this crash. Okay, we get title sequence cliffhangered. Episode 42, Chapter 9, Omniscient Sunfish, Part 6. And now we see Sunfish, a bony fish found in the tropical ocean. Characteristic: Sunfish is known to be sensitive to shock and dies very easily. Example: dies because the sun is too bright, dies because fellow sunfishes died. Sunfish dying or easily is actually a meme. Sunfish do not die that easily in real life. And we have, is that Gil Young reading the book? That's cute. And then, so this is where the title's coming in. And GA dodged out of the way. And then, Master? Yoo Jung-hyuk is under control right now. So I guess Omniscient Sunfish is like, it's omniscient, but it dies super easily, and the meme is the reason for this title. And is Yoo Jung-hyuk the Sunfish? He's like, is that the thing? The Omniscient Reader is Dokja, but the Sunfish is Yoo Jung-hyuk. Go for the Cinema Master. And then he smiles. And Jihye charges. How dare you? But Yoo Jung-hyuk's keeping up. And not just keeping up, but even able to blitz with an attack. And then, because of the art, it's hard to tell. It's hard to remember. Jihye's like super young, right? Like all the other characters, other than like Gil Young, or at least like older. So it's like they have more life experience and all that. But sometimes it's easy to forget, because Jihye just kind of looks like the rest, that she's only like a high schooler or whatever. And she just takes a kick to the face. And then we have Hui Won's sword. And she's dashing in. And as she goes for they're so cool! As she goes for an attack, then Jihye is also going for the ankles. God, they're so cool. This action sequence is great. And he jumps to avoid both strikes. They're both looking up. The action in this is so good. Jung Hui Won has activated the skill Time of Judgment. And then Lee Gil Young has activated the skill Thunder of Mjolnir. And then we have this lightning charge being sent in, and the scales are forming behind Hui Won. And Yoo Jung-hyuk is able to use a barrier to block the lightning. Yoo Jung-hyuk has neutralized the attack with immunity against electricity. That's OP. The constellations of the Pure Good Alignment remain silent against Jung Hui Won's request. Because he's being controlled, it's not that he's a bad person. What? The skill has been cancelled. Damn it, why not? And again, we see that good is from the perspective of the constellations. So like what the constellations deem as good or bad is not some like hard and fast rule. It's just what they determine as good or bad. So even though he's probably killed people, maybe even innocent people on that original train car, they don't view him as an evil person. And I guess how could you in the circumstances? Just like with Dokja didn't save everyone on the train car. You can't save everyone. Even if he killed them, it's because he was put in a situation where he had to survive. The same as Jihye even. So yeah, the skill's cancelled because he's being controlled. It's not that he's evil. Hui Won, it was expected. He may be ruthless, but Yoo Jung-hyuk has always acted out of the greater good. I knew he was strong, but not like this. And he's able to hit both of them. Personal skill character profile activated. There's too much information about this character. Converting character profile to character summary. And then character summary, we have Yoo Jung-hyuk, age 28. Third realm regressor, mythical, pro gamer, rare. And we see, his Eye of the Sage, close combat. We've seen this stuff before. Tiger God aura. I'm just like, 100-step fist we saw him use. And then cooking level 10, the high level cooking. Highest level of anything. And level 3 regression. So it's interesting. Level 3 regression, does it get a level every time he regresses back? Level 1 transmission is also a stigma. So the regression's a stigma, so it's related to one of his, because aren't all stigmas related to a constellation? So that has to be a constellation giving him regression, right? And then we have 28 stamina, 27 strength, 26 agility, and 25 mana, which I think is like even more balanced and even higher than, even higher and more balanced than Dokja's. And also the note, this character is currently unconscious. That bastard. His transmission stigma was already activated. It's a stigma that reactivates the skill that Yoo Jung-hyuk had learned during his past regressions. I'm counting on you, Gil-young. You know what to do, right? Okay, since that's also a stigma, and since it has to do with regressions, I would assume that they both come from the same constellation. And I guess you can only have one constellation, right? So I guess that would make sense. I'm counting on you, Gil-young. You know what to do, right? Oh, and it does make sense that one constellation can give you multiple stigma, because when Dokja got the stigma last read through, he was like, wow, this is something that Jihye is going to get, but she hasn't gotten yet. Yes, Dokja, I'm sorry. Don't mention it. I didn't really want to do this, but consume the enraged T-Rex DNA ampule, and it gives him a 10-point boost to all of his stats. Your stats are amplified for a 30-minute duration. And that's interesting. They're even higher now than Yoo Jung-hyuk's. Your body's gushing with vitality. Your muscles are bursting with potential. You begin to feel more agile. A mysterious power rages from within your heart. And that must be the notes that you would get for each stat increasing. Activating the personal skill. White Star Weapon Aura level 1. What I lack in skills I'll make up for with stats. The skill level for White Star Weapon Aura is increased, and he gets it to level 2. It'll work since his skill levels aren't that high yet. And then Yoo Jung-hyuk has activated the skill Blue Star Weapon Aura level 2. That's right. And then, come at me, you damn Sunfish. And they clash swords and knock each other back. And this is interesting. We saw them fight in the prologue. Is this the prologue fight? And it looks like Yoo Jung-hyuk is weaving through the attacks, getting closer and closer. I'm barely able to keep up, even with the boost in stats. And then, if I don't find a way soon, level 2 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint activated. And then, it pains me. What? How many times more do I have to repeat this? Has he already? Get a hold of yourself. And he knocks his sword away to the side. You idiot. And is able to land a punch. I got him. It was more like I grazed him. But Jung-hyuk wobbles. Everything will go back to the way it was if I regress again, he thinks. My companions will lose their memories, and the histories that I've existed in will be erased. And once again, everything will repeat itself. The reason the Cinema Master can take control of Yoo Jung-hyuk is because of his unstable state of mind. His stats may be weak, but he's equipped with the most advanced mental attack skills. None of this would have happened if Yoo Jung-hyuk's mental barrier skill was at least level 8. What am I fighting for? Huh? I have. You call yourself the main character. This is only your 3rd regression. Every right to be pissed off right now. Is that what you really think? What about the resolution you made after your 1st regression? I'm the only living thing left in this world. And then, as the reader of all 3,149 episodes of TWSA, you promised yourself not to think that. You vowed to live for the greater good. If you could no longer find the will to go on, who is it that I'm speaking to right now? Why is it that my skin is burning up and my eyes are tearing up? Personal skill, the fourth wall, is resonating. I'm all alone. So he's breaking the fourth wall to interact with the characters. You're alone? Do you know what we went through to get here? And you say you're alone. How are you alone? When you died in the cinema dungeon like an idiot, when you were crying over your dead sister, when you died after the prophet's betrayal. So he's going to get betrayed by Anna, presumably, and also his sister's going to die. Spoilers. When you had a child with the person you loved for the first time, when you went raving mad after your child died. So again, this is like long-term stuff. This goes on for a long time. Each word by word. When you fought the Demon King and opposed the returnees. The times I've spent reading TWSA. When you helped the Outer Gods and fought against the Reincarnated. So we're going to have Reincarnated. We're going to have Outer Gods. When you finally stood before the constellations. I've watched you struggle to survive. I too. So this just gets me excited to see this stuff in the future. He's going to have a kid. He's going to love someone. He's going to... they're probably going to try to save his sister from dying, obviously. And Anna probably won't betray them if she can be won over by Dokja. Like, he's going to change the course of things. But just hearing things like fighting the Outer Gods and standing before the constellations, this is all really, really cool. I too. And then we have him reading. And they clash again. Kept reading so that I could survive. Damn it, I went a bit overboard. I was just supposed to stall time for... And then Yu Jung-hyuk is going for an attack from above. And they clash swords and create a crater. You. And then he's back. Who are you? Again, is this the scene then? Because this looks like it from the prologue. And that's where we end. That was... I know I say this like basically every read through, that it just continues to get better and better. Read through by read through. But like, this might be the best chapter so far that I've read. I think it might be my favorite so far. Like, this chapter was incredibly good. And it was very, very long. We got a lot of stuff in one chapter. And so much of this stuff was really good plot stuff. And really good character stuff. I think this is one of the best chapters for Dokja's character, seeing how like he read so that he could survive in the cruelty of the modern world. And then looking at this main character who he's gone through all this with and being like, don't give up. This is your third regression, dumbass. And like, I don't know, it's the most emotionally invested I feel like Dokja has been. In addition, it's like the deepest we've looked at Yu Jung-hyuk's character. Before now, he's just been this sort of obtuse, like, just wall that we haven't been able... He's been the fourth wall that we haven't been able to see into. We haven't been able to really learn about who he is inside yet. And it feels like this is the first look we've had inside of Yu Jung-hyuk at who he is. So yeah, nutty good, crazy amazing. In addition to that, the fighting at the beginning was really, really awesome with Ji Hye and Hui Won. They didn't and even Gil Young standing on his own 2 feet. They didn't need Dokja to save them. They weren't useless. They weren't like damsels in distress. They weren't useless. They were like really cool, fighting on their own. Again, getting more of a reminder of how Hui Won's power works. Like, it wouldn't work because she's not fighting someone who's evil. Again, it was all really amazing. That was a really, really insanely good chapter. So yeah, best chapter so far. Easily, I think, best chapter so far, even though there have been some really, really great ones. I actually, personally, I keep thinking back to Dokja in the belly of the Ichthyosaur. I loved those chapters. I thought those were really fun, really good. But this is the best so far, I think. As good as the others have been. But either way, because that was a really, really long one, and I don't know how long the next will be, I'll probably just do one more chapter. But either way, let's do that one more chapter. Let's go to 43. Alright, let's go into the next chapter. We start off with the Who Are You clash scene. What? The fourth wall is being shaken due to excessive immersion. So again, I guess what that means is he's getting too attached on a human level, or he's thinking that he's too much into the story, instead of like before when he was still just kind of viewing them as characters rather than people. But now he's starting to connect on a deeper level. Episode 43, Chapter 9, Omniscient Sunfish, Part 7. And they clash and gain distance from one another. Could he have come to his senses because of what I said? Could it be that easy? Is this possible? Who the hell? And the Cinema Master jumps up. Simulation, the Cinema Master is flustered. And he brings in his dust, or like a miasma, toward Yoo Jung-hyuk again. Simulation, the Cinema Master has strengthened his control over Yoo Jung-hyuk. And then... oh, he is taken over again. I was going to say, is it not going to work? But no, it did. I knew it. There's no way it would have been that easy. A sunfish isn't called that for no reason. And then he moves in to attack again. Yoo Jung-hyuk's blue star weapon aura is growing stronger. It's so unfair fighting against the protagonist. I can't believe he became stronger in this short while. Hey, Yoo Jung-hyuk, do you remember what I asked you before? I asked if I could punch you just once, and you said I could. Yoo Jung-hyuk will be much stronger than me in the future. But now, and we have, geez, something going on with Gil Young. He's bleeding from the nose and muttering incomprehensible stuff. If I give it my all, I could. Unbreakable Faith's special property's been activated. The ether affix is changed to fire. Maybe I could overpower him just this once. What's going on with Gil Young, though? Is it because of what's happening with Dokja? And then... because I was thinking before, like, he took the T-Rex DNA or whatever, and then, like, Gil Young can talk to animals or whatever. So I was like, is he going to do something because of that? But, yeah, I don't think so. And then we have the flames sort of pushing back Yoo Jung-hyuk. And then you've activated the Stigma Sword Song, the naval warfare god Stigma, which is considered one of the most powerful combat buffs in existence. Its effect is randomized, so there's no telling how much boost I'll be getting, but I'll have to make do with it given my situation. And then we have, amidst the raining arrows and the barrage of gunfire, it was as if the battlefield struck by a thundering storm. And then a phrase left behind by the naval warfare god engulfs your sword. And we have these arrows, amidst the raining arrows and the barrage of gunfire. And we have the arrows raining from behind him. It was as if the battlefield struck by a lightning storm, or thundering storm. And then it looks like the arrows get lightning attribute, and they rain down, doing damage to him, as Dokja runs for the Cinema Master. Yoo Jung-hyuk has activated the skill Resuscitation Level 2, and he heals, and charges as well, and makes it in front of him. Damn it, he's already recovered. Gil Young. And then Gil Young's yelling, and we have something zooming in. Okay, so is he controlling an animal then, from long range, to do this? A grade 6 monarch level insect, Titanoptera, has appeared. And then we have everyone reacting to Tano. And then it's bursted in and clashes against the sword. Alright? And Yoo Jung-hyuk's trying to hold it back. What are you smiling about? And Dokja is able to come from behind. Simulation, the Cinema Master, has attempted to use the skill Mind Control. And the miasma's coming in towards Dokja. And seeping in. Oh? We have the smile. And we see 3. What? 3 ways of surviving. This is... And then, there are 3 ways of surviving the apocalypse. It was called a Dokubi. 2 small horns and a rag, and we've seen some of this. And the personal skill, 4th wall activated. And he breaks through. Could you be? And the Cinema Master gets destroyed. So I wonder, since the Cinema Master is a simulation and it saw this, are the Dokubi or any of the constellations going to be able to use that information? Huh? You're the first to defeat Simulation Cinema Master. You've received 9,000 coins for your achievement. Huh? What just happened? The clear condition for the scenario has been met. You've received 4,000 coins for your achievement. I was sure you used a skill on me. Was I okay because of the 4th wall? That's what I was counting on, but... Dokja, Gil-young, and he falls into his arms. And we have the Titanoptera standing over Yu Jun-kyuk. The barrier surrounding the cinema dungeon is disappearing. And then it turns to look. Phew, thank God it just left. It flies away. I was scared I might have to fight it. And then he's holding Gil-young. And we have Yu Jun-kyuk still collapsed on the ground. Dokja, are you alright? I'm fine. What about you, Huiwon? I'm fine too, and so's Ji-hye. She can't talk because her face is swollen. The 3rd main scenario is drawing to an end. It looks like they're almost done downstairs, too. Oh? Seoul has... Oh, and because they're, like, out here, they can see the insanity of what's going on all around the city. Nuts. That's so cool, though. Again, I mentioned it earlier in like one of the first read-throughs, or like earlier on when we got into like, I think the 2nd scenario actually, that I actually like, because it's something that I don't feel like I see that often in like fantasy type stuff. I love the modern urban setting, especially like urban apocalyptic setting. I feel like that's such a cool setting that we don't really see that often. It's like usually when it's like we're fighting monsters and we have all these powers and stuff, they're like, you know, out in this big open area where they can fight and stuff. And I love this like cluttered urban modern setting. I just think it looks so good, looks so cool. I love that about a lot of the Final Fantasy games, how a lot of them have a sort of more urban setting. I love when we get to see that. But yeah, really, been destroyed. A shooting star, you're up. And then we see a bunch of them. So I wonder if those are related to the constellations, you know? It's so goddamn pretty. Shooting stars are an omen of an upcoming main scenario. A catastrophic nightmare unparalleled to what we've experienced will be waiting for us at the landing site of those shooting stars around the world. And then Gil-young is making a wish, or praying, and we have the 2 girls and their reactions. Aren't you going to make a wish? Make a wish on the cause of all this calamity, he thinks. I already did. What'd you wish for? They say it won't come true if you tell the others what you wished for, says Huiwon. And then, I wished that I'd survive to see the epilogue of a certain novel. A brand new hell awaits us when the sun rises. And they start walking back towards Yu Jun-kyuk. The hidden scenario has been completed. Main scenario number 3, emergency defense, has been completed. Okay, so the main scenario ended with them away. The clear condition, all green zones in the station have been destroyed, spawning the remaining monsters all at once. Survive the onslaught of monsters for the remaining duration. 1,000 coins, penalty for failure, death. You've received 1,000 coins for your achievement. I think that's a very good place to end the video. That was insanely good. The best arc, I think just the cinema stuff is the best arc. Just the stuff after when they were in the subway. The cinema stuff is the best arc so far. I love the way that it took the series, which so far had been really grounded, but at the same time, the rules were a little unclear and just opened things up and said, hey, getting teleported to movie worlds is a thing that can happen. Fighting with all these big, huge powers is a thing that we do now. I love that it opened up the world and story like that, and like us getting to see the totality of the city right now and all this destruction, and knowing that things are going to get even worse with the stars landing, and they're landing all around the world, so presumably one lands nearby and they have to get to that for the fourth main scenario probably. Insanely cool. So much cool stuff for the future. So much great character development stuff. I think that Dokja just shot up and became a much better character. Yu Jung-chuk became a much better character. Ji Hye became a much better character. They were all just developed an insane amount. We even got stuff before they came in here with Hyun-sung getting a bunch of development. Gil-young has just been consistently like really good. Like Gil-young, I feel like the author's gotta like him because like the character's been handled well. I've always loved Hwee-won. Hwee-won's like my favorite. I feel like Sang-ah is the only one. Sang-ah has to have an arc coming because Sang-ah is the only one I really feel like we haven't gotten that deeper look at yet. So I'm so excited to see more of these characters, more new scenarios, what the world has to offer from here on out, because this has been very, very good. And not only has it been very, very good, but I feel like everything that we've just seen just continues to open up the story to bigger and cooler things. Plus we have all the hints at things that can happen in the future, like how long this is going to last for in the story. What's his face, Jung-chuk, to have been able to have kids and have the kid be killed, to have found someone and fallen in love. It just shows that there's so much more cool stuff, even though it's obviously not going to follow that exact pattern because of Dokja's meddling. It's so cool that we still have all these characters to meet, all this cool stuff to happen. Again, fighting outer gods and standing before the constellations, just so much big, huge, cool stuff coming. Like, these two chapters make me so excited for reading in the future of the series in general. But yeah, sorry. Thank you so much for watching. I am only going to do 2 this week because they were, a little on the longer side. I want to do at least 30 minutes, and I'm at least 30 minutes by now. Thank you so much, though. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Like I said, I really don't mind taking my time and enjoying the journey, even though at 2 chapters a week it might take a little bit. But in the future, I'd love to do more if possible. But yeah, even 2 a week I think is really fun. So yeah, Tuesdays from now on. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more. Omniscient Reader, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, ask and I'll give you one. It's free and open for anyone. If you would like to help support the channel, it is patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description, or you can just hit join down below to become a channel member, or you can do a super thanks if you would like to. It would just be helpful at continuing the channel. But huge thank you if you are a patron or member. You get to have a thank you here at the end. Big thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Huarian and Smeller Dog, Cherryton Student, David Langstaff, and Slayer Candidate SG. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you all so much just for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.